minimum clause. It's a origin rule. Minimum clause. By Bruselas, Bruselas Council.
I guess if your packaging has to be processed, reprocessed, or recycled, or destroyed once you deliver the product, and the country of that receives your product has strict rules about that packaging, you have to consider that if your buyer is going to process that, there's going to be a cost involved, or if they have to re-export that packaging because there might be rules on that package,
Sure.
there has to be like cost involved into that. So that might apply to your pricing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, from a price perspective, it's important. I'm just not familiar with the situation. But again, being exposed to all the possible products and countries, so for sure, this it may be possible. Okay, now let's wrap up our pricing section. So this is the very simplistic pricing model. Of course, not all goods are here. Sorry, not all costs. Not all costs are here. But it's the good, indicative model for you, which costs you should include into the pricing, depending on the terms, depending on the rules of Incoterms that you have selected. And of course, these aren't all rules. Those are, most popular, but those aren't all rules. It's just for your information to understand which cost to add when calculating the price or when interpreting the price. Yes?
Yes, I would like to add something. For example, if you go to check some big companies and Apple, they make their products, for example, in China, but they sell in their name. This is
yeah, like phones, right?
But a standard is, for example,
Sorry?
they bought the A standard is very important, but they produce in China.
Yeah, exactly. Like all the phones are, this is where the phones are from. Yeah.
That's considered as an import, right? When they
Yeah.
bring it from China to US.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Any questions on pricing?
Origin is going to be China?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah, for sure. It's easy to check because there's a latent clause.
No, it is their name. They didn't, I think they didn't pay the custom to the import to America because the company is in America.
Right,
For
right.
example,
But the product is still made in
they
China, right?
made in China, but with their standard,
Yeah,
and they didn't. It is from Apple.
yeah.
You cannot see it is Chinese, for example. The product is Apple, but it made in China.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But sorry, it's probably too late. What's your
My friend asked about the name of the products. Is it Chinese products or the Apple
in
products?
terms of
No. Oh, I see what you mean. No, okay.
unity
Two
of customer.
different things. Two different things. The country of origin is the country where the product is made. I mean, physically assembled. What you're referring to is the country that holds the intellectual property. In this case, of course, it's the property of the it's property of the company, but the intellectual property belongs to the American company. Yeah, but it's absolutely. The other my favorite example to illustrate was that our friends brought the toys, like the kangaroo toy from Australia, and the label said, on the one side of the label it said, designed in Australia, on the flip side it said made in China.
Because of the price, I was in China. They have a standard. You can register when you should make the products. You should register to the standard. The products, the quality is the same. They made before in America. The quality is high because you register there.
Right.
You are going in the policy. This is very important, and then you have quality.
Yeah.
products and
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, any other questions on pricing? So let me see how we are doing on time. Okay, so it's 15 minutes to 9. So let's see if we have some time to do some exercises. Are you still with me? To the exercises? So yeah. Why don't we practice with the pricing as the exercise 11? I understand that you may not necessarily have your like the cost of goods, the idea for your cost of goods, but try to follow the model just for the sake of exercise. Imagine your product is $1,000. The cost of goods is $1,000, and the packaging and labeling is, let's say, $5. Your profit margin is $500. So just follow the model and try to add up some numbers. Now, you probably noticed that the item B here says minus sales tax. So let me tell you about that. Because every country has different sales taxes, there are international treaties to avoid this double taxation. When you are exporting the product from Canada, you're supposed to deduct all the sales taxes that are built into it, because you probably pay for materials and gas and so forth that are included in the cost of your goods, but you've paid the sales taxes on it. So what you have to do technically is to deduct all those sales taxes and invoice your customer outside Canada, like net of these taxes. The reason why you do that is because when your fiscal year ends, you submit a claim to the CRA, your HST GST return, and then depending on your overall tax situation, you can potentially get the refund. So let's say if it's your only transaction a year, if you exported only, let's say, one item that has the sales taxes in it, the CRA will refund your sales tax. That's the international rule. And likewise, when we import something to Canada, we pay 5%, not 13%, not the Ontario one, but we pay 5% GST. Because it doesn't really matter where you import. Like you may import through Vancouver, you may import through Toronto, Montreal, Halifax, doesn't matter. You pay 5% duty. Sorry, 5% sales tax. And when you export, you're supposed to deduct it. Unfortunately, primarily due to cash flow issues, it's not something that people like to do. But if you want to be perfectly correct and stop this construction for a few minutes. Okay, I guess we have no choice but to wrap up over here because of this noise. Okay, any questions on pricing? Any suggestions? Yes?
When you're doing your profit model, is it a percentage of A, B, and C, or you just do a percentage of?
No, it's up to you.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. It could be just a flat number. Doesn't matter. Yep.
If you are working with the bank, for example, they open a letter of credit to you, you have to pay something or they have to pay something. If you go to add that over the wall, you have some expend money for agreement, you have a lawyer, you should add something to this price also.
Yeah, absolutely. If you explore it further, like you have other costs that are unrelated to the transaction, like your, for example, marketing, your rent, and so forth. So yeah, absolutely. What we usually recommend is to, again, just for the sake of understanding, try to come up with the profit margin that would cover enough those extra costs, including your fixed costs, like a portion of your fixed cost. Yeah, it's a little bit of an example. I mean, you gotta know overall, pricing and accounting practices to just complete this exercise right. So if you haven't been exposed to like pricing and accounting, I suggest you to learn about this. First of all, what are the types of costs? That there are fixed costs and there are variable costs. So variable costs, they are related to your specific transaction or your production process, and fixed costs are those that are there unrelated to the volume. Even if you produce nothing, you still say have to pay for the full number and the rent. And so there are certain accounting techniques and tools how you split your fixed costs and project them so that you could include them in your price.
That should include your own salary.
Absolutely, yeah. And the salary of, let's say, your accountant or wherever.
I would like to add something. I can see here. The important thing for export import is exchange. You work with from Canada to, for example, Mexico.
Good point.
The money exchange is very different, and careful about that. It's very important. I have some.
Absolutely. Have you used currency hedging? Oh. So the tool there for everyone's sake, the tool that helps you to leverage this currency exchange risk is called hedging. So it's provided usually by not usually by banks, but mostly by the foreign exchange companies. Basically, it's the insurance against the fluctuation of the currency. And if the currency changes not in your favor, then it's an insurance case and you basically get some compensation for it.
So what do you have to do in practical terms?
In practical terms, you need to have the specific deal. You wouldn't be able to get much from those companies if you don't have a particular deal. But let's say you have a deal, you're sending a container of these projectors, and you buy them, let's say, in China for USD, and you sell them in Canada in Canadian dollars, right? But you know that you are going to spend, let's say, 10,000 to USD, and you want to make sure that, let's say, today is, I don't know, say 1.2 Canadian dollars for $1 US. You want to make sure that you can kind of secure and fix this currency rate, regardless what will happen in 30 days after your container arrives. And so those hedging firms and foreign exchange firms that offer hedging, they would give you the price of their insurance policy, if you will. Just like any insurance, like car insurance or cargo insurance. There is some cost involved, but it's not that significant. Okay, I should correct myself depending on the volume, the value of the transaction. But there is such a tool and you should explore it. But don't go there right now because it's a little bit early. As soon as you have the particular deal, I can tell you that. Well, I personally made that mistake. Had a contract paid in British pounds, and it wasn't that significant, so I decided not to go with it. And then I realized that I lost money because the exchange rate, the exchange rate changed. Yeah.
I want to add something about exchange rates. Even if exchange rates are fixed, one of the cost or hidden cost is doing the exchange. If you do it through the bank, usually it costs you maybe like 2-3%. If you do it through other companies, average 1%. So if your margin is like 10%, you're losing 1% minimum just to get your money in Canadian dollars.
Good point. Sorry?
Through banks.
Yeah, banks, unfortunately banks charge. Yes, the word, if you want to shop around for the good exchange rate, then go to the banks.
How do you spell that H?
Hedging, hedging, that's the...
Hedging, how do you spell it?
Hedging.
So if you don't do the transactions through the bank,
because it's more expensive, so through you can.
Oh, no. You do transactions through the bank, but the way it works is that you just have the like bank account there, and that currency exchange company it sells you or buys the currency from you, and they simply kind of wire money to your account. That's usually how it works. Yeah, that's normally how it works. Yes.
The large exchange companies along Young Street, they have you can open an account, and you can open an account with different currencies.
Fair enough. That's also a good
They
point.
actually, I'm going to Portugal next month. I'm trying to fix my euros. So, but you can go there and you can buy euros, and they give you a card. Okay, so you don't have to pay any transaction fees. And as you're going around buying things in Europe, you use their debit card. It's a debit card. So but they're the only ones that have a preloaded debit card in euros.
Can you share the name? Can you share the name for everyone?
Yeah. It's on Young Street, about 68 Young Street or something.
68.
I can't remember. Getting old. But when you pull up currency exchange houses, it'll come.
Yeah, I came across a couple of them. Also, Western Union is one of them. So they also do that.
There are a few, one is World First, and World First.
World First? You can write it down.
World.com, and the one is currencyguiding.com.
Good. Okay. So the last item that we have for this this session is the registration. People always ask whether we need a special license or registration to do export-import in Canada. The answer is yes, but it's not like a specific license. It's the extension of your business number. If you already have a business, you have 9-digit number. If you don't have your business yet, when you will have your business number, you will have those first 9 digits. And your export and import number is the extension of it. It's just sort of like, those who are in business, can you raise your hand who has HST account? Okay. So then you know what it means. So it's the business number, extension, and extension. It's the same with export import. There is a separate business number for export, separate one for import. It doesn't cost you anything to register that number. As long as you have that 9-digit number in the first place, it doesn't cost you anything. And you don't have any obligations to export or import. So you can just open those numbers and do nothing until you have the opportunity. But when there is the opportunity, the purpose of these numbers is that they have to be on your paperwork. And this is the way how Canada Revenue Agency tracks you. And Border Services Agency, which is subset of CRA. This is how they track you specifically, your company. You know, if you don't pay the duties, that's how they can find you. But it's not possible not to pay the duties.
So it's like the business team number?
Yeah, pretty much this is what it is. Yeah, it's business number. The extension. This is the extension of the business number. Now, what else? There is no other specific license to start export and import. So anyone who has these numbers can start export and import. However, your product may be subject to other regulations. And depending on the product, you may be required to obtain certain certificates. Let's say if it's an electrical product, it has to comply with the electrical rules of the country of destination. For most of the food, cosmetic products, pharmaceuticals, there are also regulations. Maple syrup, can you maybe share your experience with maple syrup? That's, I think, because maple syrup is probably one of the most regulated Canadian product. Exactly, actually, quite a bad product there.
We just give the agricultural guys help. inspect.
Mhm.
And they make sure that there's certain, there's gold, there's.
Yeah, yeah,
there's
grades,
silver,
different grade
So
factors.
there's the different grades.
Mhm.
Same thing with honey. I was working with Apiary, and they wanted to do some exports and even just sell in Ontario. So we have to get, this is going back to the SKU numbers.
Mhm.
The inspectors come and inspect the honey anyway, but then if you want to sell it, I was trying to sell it to stores, we needed a SKU number for every type of honey. Gold honey, white honey, cream honey, buckwheat honey, you know, honey to smear in your face. Everything, like, and that's the problem with the most expensive things. You get 6 or 7 categories of honey labeled so that the grocery stores would take them.
Does it cost you money to get the SKU number? How much does it cost?
Customer.
Does it cost you money?
Yes, it's $500 to first register, and then with $100 per year.
Oh, you have to keep it meeting up, like, you're getting that SKU number every year, right? Every year.
If you are going to have a large, supply of those, I think $500 per year, or for the first year, and whatever,
I
yearly,
made the Apiary pay for it. Well, one thing, on this, it's all online.
Oh, yeah.
I think you say it's free?
What?
It's free?
Well, the information, absolutely. Yeah, it's because it's on government websites. Absolutely. The only problem Canada has is that, like, there's no really like a single portal where you can, just type in your product or HS code and it will give you all the regulations, so you have to look around.
Where did you get the import and export number? Online?
Yeah, you can get it online. It's with Canada Revenue Agency. That's a good question, though. I believe, let me see, I believe I put a link.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a link on the very last question. Yeah, it's a bit of a long one, but it's here already.
Is it numbered by the type of product? Or you
No,
have, let's say,
no, it's a
customer
generic.
number and
No, it's a generic. Yeah, and you can be already in the industry if you're an IT consulting company. You can also open it up. It doesn't matter.
Even if you don't have a business, but you have a that?
Yeah. Oh, no. You have to have a business. You have to have a business number, but you don't have to be like specifically registered as the export-import business. As I said, you may register as, I don't know, the partnership that does, I don't know, consulting service, IT consulting services, but you can open up this number just in case.
And I have the opposite question. So, for example, I have some entrepreneurs that want to import, but just to try. They don't want to